Welcome back to the reading of Reclaim Yourself by me, Jessica Nuñez-LaMarre. Part 2, My Healing Journey. Chapter 9, Coming Back to Myself. Since the miracle of Rhett, I've been on a healing journey back to myself, with a capital S. It started as a desire for more, to serve and give back. It turned into a spiritual journey for how I could serve and help others. Yet what I discovered is what I needed. In 2018, my cousin, she's my fifth cousin, but in a big Mexican family, it's just a cousin, mentioned a school that she attended, Southwest Institute of Healing Arts. Immediately, something inside me perked up. Then another person mentioned the school, and then another. So my curiosity was piqued. I looked it up. Maybe this was the answer to my prayers. Maybe this is what I was looking for. I had spent the previous 6 months since Rhett's birth reading as much as I could on expanding the mind and spirituality. I took as many courses as I could, the Dale Carnegie courses, high impact presentation, Mind Valley courses, like Becoming Limitless, Bending Reality, and Speak to Inspire. I craved a new way of living, and Southwest Institute of Healing Arts seemed to be a gateway to my new life. I was ready for a new way, and the universe was giving me a new way. In January of 2019, I sat with Jennifer, the student service specialist, in her office. Do you want to sign up for a degree? No, I'm not ready to make that commitment. Let's start with the 100-hour life coaching program and see where it goes. And with that, my journey began. Pumping, packing, and preparing, I was so excited for my first class. It was the first weekend of each month, a 20-hour weekend, 6 to 10 on Friday nights and 9 to 6 on Saturdays and Sundays. Nervously, I rushed around the kitchen, ensuring there would be enough breast milk for Rhett while I was away for the evening. This was a big day. Rhett was 9 months old, and Wayne was about to watch all 3 kids by himself for the first time. I checked the fridge, and there were 2 bottles. I pumped, so you should have enough to make it through the evening. If not, I'll just take it out of the freezer, Wayne responded with frustration, mad that I was going to class, knowing this comment would cut the deepest due to my fear of Rhett not having enough breast milk when I traveled for work. I tried to stockpile it. Feeling agitated and upset, I kissed the kids, who clung to my legs, and maneuvered out of the house. Nervous and excited, I walked into the double doors at Southwest Institute of Healing Arts. Chatter filled the entryway. As I maneuvered through people about 20 feet in, I was greeted with another set of double doors to my left. I walked in, and the room was lined with chairs and a stage at the front. I found a chair in the second to last row. The room continued to fill until it was full. The doors closed. And with that, my first class of life coaching started. Over the weekend, I held my first coaching sessions, and I learned about limiting beliefs, what holds us back from life, from who we truly are, and what we truly want. I started to grasp the concept that I was living in the culturescape, being and doing who and what everyone else wanted, and spending my whole life trying to live up to someone else's standards. Then we closed our first weekend with a guided visualization. It was the first time in my life that I had closed my eyes with no other intention than to journey within myself. I loved it. Previously, when I would journey within, it was to pray for something or someone. It wasn't to go further within myself, to better understand myself, to connect with my soul, or to connect to peace within me. The next weekend's class was down to about 20 people. Let's close our eyes and breathe in and breathe out with a sigh, the instructor advised. Quiet on the inhale, and then the whole class exhaled with a loud sigh. I opened my eyes and looked around the room. Everyone else had their eyes closed. I was the only one who didn't sigh loudly. I felt instantly uncomfortable. The sigh reminded me of the noise my mom used to make when she was overwhelmed, and I inevitably thought I had done something wrong. Yet, as it continued, I was able to embrace the loud exhale sighs. They became a stress relief for me. Sitting in a circle, we were paired up for an exercise, gaining clarity on what we wanted. My partner looked at the worksheet we were following and then back up at me. What do you want in life? I couldn't answer it at first. I didn't know what I wanted. I only knew what I didn't want. I didn't want to feel stressed, overworked, or overwhelmed. I didn't want to feel burned out or unsupported. I was tired of self criticism, and I didn't want to feel like everything needed to be perfect. I so desperately wanted the irritation and the frustration that I felt every day to be gone. I just didn't want to feel despondent anymore. As I became aware of what I didn't want, a doorway to what I wanted started to open. My journey continued in the classroom, earning certificates in life and spiritual coaching, intuitive guidance, workshop facilitation, and becoming a Reiki master. I also continued to take Mind Valley courses, including Life Visioning Mastery with Michael Beckwith, Unlimited Abundance, and others. My engineering background, coupled with extensive knowledge in mindfulness, meditation, and emotional intelligence, allowed me to meld my engineering brain and holistic approaches to bring forth a unique experience. As an avid reader and lover of science and research, I have been able to learn countless tools and techniques to help others transform their lives. This journey required Wayne to step up and be more supportive of the kids. My parents played an instrumental part in my ability to grow. Any call to my dad stated, "Dad, I have a class this weekend," or "Dad, I have an upcoming retreat," was always met with, "We will be there to cover for you," or "Whatever you need, my love." To say that my family was supportive in this journey is an understatement. I am forever grateful. I realize this is a privilege. I believe they also saw what I saw, another way. None of us could explain it with words. They gave me the time and space to open to something different, something bigger than all of us. They allowed me to rediscover myself. This journey led to me coaching with Lisa Nichols, one of the most requested motivational speakers in the world. Using my discipline and passion for learning to continuously educate myself, the path that started as a way to overcome stress and burnout turned into a journey of how to thrive and live a purposeful, meaningful, fulfilling life. It took me on a journey back to who I truly am. Today, I get to take the best of what I learned and share it with others. In all that I have learned and experienced, the most transformation has come through the healing, the undoing, and the unlearning of what I inherited. What I took on from culture, society, family, school, friends, church, the patriarchy, and more. When I started, I didn't know what healing was. Since then, I've spent thousands of hours healing what no longer serves me, letting go of patterns and cycles, limiting belief systems, negative self-talk, and outdated beliefs, and getting to the core of why I was overworked, stressed, overwhelmed, guilty, and more. I was getting to the core of what kept me from me. I realized in this process that it is not just in the doing, but in the undoing, the healing, that the real transformation occurs. One of the greatest realizations on this multi-year journey is this: before embarking on my healing journey, I didn't trust myself or love myself, and I didn't know my value or my worth. Ultimately, the root cause came down to one thing: I felt unworthy of love. Feeling unworthy of love showed up in my life in many ways, including not setting boundaries, people pleasing, overgiving, burnout, avoiding difficult conversations, type A personality, high achiever, hard worker, being overwhelmed, overspending, irritation with my kids, resentment towards my husband, frustration with work, guilt for pretty much everything, overdoing, not feeling like I could rest, suppressing and ignoring my feelings. I'm fine. Feeling like my needs and wants didn't matter, questioning my decisions, my thoughts, and almost everything I did or said. I discovered burnout is the result of feeling unworthy. That's why I disconnected from myself so long ago, because who I was never seemed to be enough. I needed to be who everyone else wanted me to be. I needed to be doing what everyone else needed or wanted me to do. I was being selfish and helping everyone. I was being selfless and helping everyone else, making others happy and putting myself last, and being responsible for how everyone felt, and in turn, losing myself and ignoring my well-being. What this looked like in my life. I didn't trust myself. I questioned most of the decisions I made. I listened to everyone else because I thought, or rather was taught, that they knew better. I would get other people's opinions about decisions in my life and typically go with theirs. I didn't listen to my heart. I continuously made logical decisions, even if it meant abandoning and betraying my own heart. I didn't listen to my body. I would push my body, not exercise, eat unhealthy food, and try my best to ignore my physical symptoms of tension. I didn't need or want to be too assertive or loud or mean. I avoided confrontation and typically did what others wanted to keep the peace. I ignored my needs and wants, feeling guilty for even having them, and disappointed when they were never met. I had work goals, objectives, and strategies, but I didn't have my own dreams and goals where I wanted to be in 5 to 10 years, not just in work, but in life. Now, what I have learned is most of the problems I have been healing from all stem from a system, the patriarchy. Patriarchy is defined as a system of society or government in which the father or eldest male is head of the family, and descent is traced through the male line, per Oxford. This patriarchal society taught me that I wasn't worthy of being loved just as I am. I wasn't enough. I wasn't lovable. I learned early that parts of me were bad and unlovable. I learned that love needed to be earned. And if I strive for perfection, act a certain way, and always give of myself, then God would love me. I didn't want to disappoint God. This is when I lost my boundaries and started living with guilt and shame for the parts of me that I was taught were bad and unworthy of love. This is when I started living in fear, for the love could easily be taken away. This is when I learned that love is conditional, all in the name of an unconditionally loving God. Whew. Patriarchy played out in my life as the need to always do something, to be in control, for things to be perfect, and to always give of myself, ignoring my needs and wants. I did not feel worthy of sharing how I felt or even having feelings. And I felt unproductive or lazy when I took a break or felt the need to rest. I thought I needed to earn everything I had and prove myself repeatedly, overworking myself at home and work, not having boundaries, and feeling guilty all the time. I did not speak of the shame I held about things I had done in my life that I was taught were bad, not wanting to disappoint people in my life, especially my dad and the men in my life, whether that be a manager, coach, or friend, and of course, always putting myself last. The patriarchy told me who to be and how to be. The patriarchy also showed me that it was okay to strive and struggle in the pursuit of happiness and success, but not handle failure, which is inevitable. It taught me to hide who I was because it made others uncomfortable. whether that was my emotions, voices, or choices. I had so many roles to play: mom, employee, dishwasher, laundry person, bill payer, friend, daughter, sister, niece, cousin, granddaughter, doctor or dentist appointment maker and taker, and at-home nurse. I was also the emotional caregiver, vacation planner and packer, tax prepper, homework tutor, and shopper for the house, kids, and groceries. In addition, I was the landlord, remodeler, Tiger Team go-to, and extra assignment helper at work. How could I simply be me? I was so disconnected from myself, my heart, my body, my dreams, my desires, my life, and myself. It wasn't until I started my healing journey that I realized my type A overachieving personality traits were my response to trauma. They led me to becoming a workaholic. In Dr. Nicole LaPera's book, How to Do the Work, Recognize Your Patterns, Heal from Your Past, and Create Your Future, she discusses spiritual trauma. This is classified as any time we must abandon ourselves to feel loved. Take a moment here to imagine how many times you have abandoned yourself and done something you didn't want to do. Just start with today. How many times have you done? How many things have you done today that have frustrated you, made you sigh, made you think, why do I always have to do this? This had to start somewhere. It most likely started in childhood, learning to abandon ourselves so that we feel loved, enough, worthy, heard, seen, or a part of the family. The essence of my work is to honor all our parts. I believe the parts of us keeping us from ourselves, our intuition, our soul, are parts of us frozen in time. Feel, see, sense, or imagine you have parts within yourself frozen in time. They are not bad. They are experiences, emotions, and difficult situations that parts of us went through, many of which were never able to be expressed or acknowledged fully. When we go back and honor these parts of us, we have the opportunity to set them free. The challenges in our lives, self-criticism, and strained relationships are all a call for help from within, manifesting in our lives to get our attention. These parts are ready to connect and share, and we are the only ones who can give them a voice. When we do this, it opens space within us for our souls, for ourselves.